Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting up with Team 1 in the north, ending with Team 2 in the south. Starting up with Team 1's northeasternmost player, it is Rooster Sun going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1700 highest rank on Team 1 and tied for the highest rank overall, and he is in Pac-Man yellow. To his southwest in Amethyst Purple, we have Lotus going first land. He is a Seraphim. He is Amethyst Purple. He is a 1400. In Rust, to his southwest, we have Tolsty 4OK going first land as a UEF. He is a 1300. And rounding out the front line here for Team 1 is RNA going first line as another UEFA for his team. He is in Ruby Red, and he is a 1600. In Tropical Ocean Blue here to the north is Upas going first line as a Cyber, and he is a 1200. And last but not least, here for Team 1 in the northwestern side of the map, in the corner, in the regatta slot, we have Wuka going first line. He is a 1400 in Chevy Crimson. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have each of the races represented, but they have 3 UEF, which means 1 Aeon, 1 Seraphim, and 1 Cyberin for Team 1. Down here in the southwestern corner for Team 2 in forest green, the best color and faction combination of all of Supreme Commanderdom. No bias, of course. It is Kaiser Wilhelm I in forest green as a UEF. He is a 1400. To his northeast, we have in Batman Gray, Wacko Contact going first line as a Seraphim. He is a 1500. In Snow White, to his northeast, is Klaus going first line. He is a Cybern, and he is a 1300 in Snow White. And rounding out the front line for Team 2 in Glow in the Dark Green, we have Raw Legit going first land. He is a 1700, the highest rank on Team 2, and tied with Rooster Sun on Team 1 for the highest overall, and he is going first land. In Lightest Red Pink here to the southeast is Martin. He going first and second land. He is a UEF, and he is a 1200. And last but not least, in regatta slot, we have Kinder 5129 going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1500 in Royal Blue. So for Team 2 side of the map, they also have at least one of each of the factions represented, but they have a dual major in UEF and Aeon. So instead of Team 1, where Team 1 has 3 UEF and everybody else is one of the other factions, Team 2 has 2 UEF, 2 Aeon, 1 Cybern, and 1 Seraphim. And for 12 players on the map, let's see how much reclaim they can scoop up. Currently is 32,000 reclaim, which means it's a little bit over 2.5k reclaim per player. So a ton of mass to scoop up. A lot of it along the cliff edges / the wall sections of the plateaus here. You can see all around the middle, all around the edges of the map as well. And for mass points as well to scoop up and claim mainly the most of them essentially in the middle of the map here. There is a Trimix position here, as well as 2 on the southwest side and 1 on the northeast side. So at least 1 Trimix position for each of the frontline players for both teams. There is, again, some mass in the northeast and southwest corners of the map, but most of the kind of probably fighting for mexes will occur in those corners, just due to the fact that it's relatively easy or hard, depending on the standpoint in the players, of securing this amount of land versus trying to secure this amount of land. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of players go for this slot. Let's say, as an example, Kaiser go for this and try to hold here. And then obviously he has to hold here, but it's a lot easier to hold there than over there. Or we could see RNA hold here and kind of do exactly the opposite. Well, let's bring this game up back to 0 and see what our players are starting to do. Again, a lot of hot-bedded issues between the southwest and northeastern corners of the map between these two players. And in the middle, realistically, there won't be any mexes fought over. They essentially would have to be right about here in the circle. There are this mex and this mex right here, but honestly, one is going to go to one team, one is going to the other team, and it might be some artillery, it might be some PD action between those two places, but again, it's one mex, and sometimes one mex can make all the difference, but I feel like in this game, one mex probably will not make the difference. And let's see what our players are moving to. We do see 5 of the 6 players on Team 2 moving, but we do see the 6th one of Kinder moving to the front line as well. On Team 1, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So everybody in the game has shifted to the middle in terms of their comms. It looks like it's going to be a 3v... Oh, it might be a 2v2 in the middle. Maybe a 3v3 between both teams. Looks like it's going to be exclusively a 1v1 scenario here in the Northeast. And it looks like Upas is shifting southwestwardly. So it's going to be most likely a 2v1, maybe 2 if Wacko moves west as well. There's going to be a lot of comm-on-comm action, it looks like, here pretty shortly, just because our players are going to be in the middle of the map fighting one another. A lot of T1 light assault bot spam outbound from both Klaus and from Tolsty, going for those mech marines and those hunters. I do see here some fighting somewhere, and it's in the northeast here between Raw Legit and Rooster Sun. Looks like it's a couple of scouts fighting off a couple of other scouts, but those scouts outnumber those scouts, so those scouts on Team 2 will win. And I think that is the most time I said scouts in one sentence, back to back like that. I think, maybe, I don't know. Most likely, probably. T1 bomber over the top, going to kill off an engineer here for Kaiser, but that's going to be shot out of the sky by interceptors from Kinder. Kinder now going to be intercepted by those interceptors from RNA, and those interceptors getting a decent engage. Again, it's only 2 versus 2, so it's not a huge issue. One of the interceptors does go down for RNA. One of those interceptors almost went down here for Team 1, but that does get killed off as well. So Team 1 has air superiority for like a little bit, so it's not a huge... I mean, again, it's something. It'll deal with a couple of bombers if Kinder does decide to go that route, which he probably won't, and it would not be very difficult for Kaiser to build up a couple of AA emplacements, whether that be mobile or stationary, and deal with those interceptors. And again, interceptors at 5 minutes, yeah, they can deal with a couple of bombers, but realistically, it's about just kind of dealing with early harass more than actually getting a full secure of an entire section of the game, that being the airplay. Gun speed going down here for Raw Legit in the Northeast. I was going to say he should go for gun range, and then he took the words out of my mouth by essentially doing exactly what I thought he was going to do. And we do see gun speed starting here for Rooster Sun. Both of the Aeon comms in the northeastern corner went for range second. Well, maybe we'll see Rooster Sun go for range. I still don't understand that. If anybody knows why you would go speed first, please let me know. I just feel like range is more tactically advantageous because you can fire at range. But that's just me. But let me know down in the comments why specifically Aeon comms would go speed first and then range, because I always feel like it should be flipped, but again, that's a me thing. Gun damage range going down here for Martin, and gun damage range as well on for Tolsty. He has the engineer upgrade, the little T1, is it T1? Maybe it's T1, the little hover drone. Is it on the shoulder? Oh, it's probably busy doing something else, but those little spots, you can put those couple of engineers on there and assist the comm, or send them to go do other tasks somewhere else on the map. And I bet if I tried to find it, actually I probably could find it. It's probably considered an air unit. It is not considered an air unit, so that's probably not it. And I don't see it anywhere, at least on my screen. Anyway, enough talking about little Robo Drone. It looks like it's going to see the first comm-on-comm action here between the teams. It looks like it's going to be Wuka versus Klaus. Those are the closest so far. Wuka's pushing a little bit forward. He has, I mean, if you were to go like 2 inches further, he could take out that, and he can see it. He can literally see the radar installation. He's like, hey, you guys should come get me. Hey, you guys should come hang out, kind of thing. And he's like, nah, it's fine. I'll just leave anyways. You guys didn't accept my invitation. Leave. I'm going to leave. Anyway, T1 bombers over the top here, taking out probably an engineer. Looks like T1 facility is on fire. There is a radar as well. Looks like that is not the target. It's going after the T1 factory. In the southwestern corner, RNA has taken the entire corner for himself, bar this one position here for Kaiser. So Kaiser, I don't know if he's just giving up on that side of the map. I don't know if he's just letting him cook. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not going after it. He easily could, but he does have gun on board, and we do see Kinder go for range first. So there is an Aeon comm that goes for range first. So again, maybe it's just people like speed first, people like range first. I don't know. Again, I feel like from my point of view, tactically, it's better to have the range. but that is just me, of course. T1 Interceptors fighting other T1 Interceptors here in the northeast corner between Raw Legit and Rooster Sun. Looks like it's essentially tied. Shield coming online here for Raw Legit as well. Didn't go for advanced range, went for shield, which is also a good upgrade because it protects your comm, gives you an additional 8,000 temporary, air quotes, hit points. Temporary hit points that can regen, which normal hit points can regen, but they're shield, so anyway. We do see a push outbound from Team 1, both coming out from the eastern middle and the western middle, mostly spearheaded by Tolsty with his gun and engineer upgrade. It's the left drone. We do see Wuko coming in from behind to assist with that push. We do see actually Loda's actually stop his push. This would be huge if his units do push in. Unfortunately, that gun comm will finish for Klaus, so that's not going to really go anywhere. And a lot of T1 mobile artillery online here for Wackel, trying to force back Tolsty and Wuka, trying to keep them on their feet, moving around, keep dancing. We do see those units finally engage here between Lotos and Klaus. Klaus has a lot more units to play with, and we do see Wacko as well with that gun speed and range upgrade going after Tolsty's gun damage and range. Looks like Tolsty barely gets out of range, and it looks like, I mean, Tolsty's taking a ton of damage, and Klaus is coming in with his gun comm as well. We do see some pushback here from Martin from the east with his gun comm, but he's going to force back that engagement side as well. We do see in the southwest RNA versus Kaiser. Lots of action going down. I'm going to split it just a brief moment so we can see what's going on all at the same time. I'm even going to move that really quick just to see. We do see Wuka acting as a nice body shield here, nice bullet sponge here for Tolsty to retreat. Unfortunately, Wacko is still in range. Does receive some fire to the face. Definitely not the best thing to feel this early in the game, 10 minutes. Essentially the morning, if you want to kind of classify it as time of day. We do see all of those units come in and assist Wacko, as well as those from Klaus, to just push Team 1 back. I think the attack in the southwest kind of peters out, and I'm going to move that back over there before someone dies here. In the middle, Tolsty's at 3,000 hit points at 1-star veteran C, so 10 more % hit points on board that commander now. Wacko is just about to fall into the red, so has to be very, very careful. He's pretty far from his first upgrade, but again, closer than at 0%. We do see Martin just laying it into Lotos, just forcing him back. He's going for a T2 PD. Martin, I think, noticing that, goes, hey, no, stop that. I'm going to kill off some engineers, slow down that upgrade. Does get, not upgrade, does finish the PD, but I think that PD will be either still alive or barely alive or dead, or dead. No, it's dead. We do see those comments both for Klaus and Wacko retreat. T2 coming online here for Tolsty, assisted by Wuka to get more hit points on board that commander, quickly, just to not get sniped from the air, whether that be T2 or T1. Speaking of air, Team 2 is at T3 air in the form of Kinder, and he's going for Strat Bomber. Team 1, what do we see over here in the northwest? We see Engineer, so it looks like Wuka's slightly behind his opponent of Kinder in terms of the air. He's going for his other T3 Pigeon, and Wuka does have his first, doesn't have his second. He's going to go for ASF, so maybe that bomber will get some work done. But since the other team of Team 1 does have T3 air online and is going for ASF, that bomber might not get as much mileage as maybe he's hoping. But, I love to see bomber first. When you can make it work, it's amazing. When you can't make it work, it's a disappointment. So, it's not bad, but it could be really, it could be bad, not great, but it could be really good. So, definitely the cost-benefit analysis on that spending there. We do see some T1 bomber raids raiding this tri-mix position here from Lotos. Lotos doesn't really have a lot of anti-air to deal with this. There are now interceptors called in to assist. Bombers now kind of having wide turns there. The mixes will be fine for now. Where is that bomber? There it is. I don't know if it's going after Wuka or for Tolsty. Tolsty might be with the recipient. It does look like that bomber retreats. I think Team 2 notices the ASFs that are around. We do see some run-by going on here, or at least possible going on here from the northeast for Raw Legit, forcing all of those units to retreat. This will give a little bit of momentum here for Raw Legit to push forward with his mobile missile launches. We do see some PD online, but those missile launchers are focused on dealing with those. There is a nice volcano coming online, but might be a little too late here. with the gun speed / range, because there's one gun upgrade for range and one upgrade for speed, and the shield upgrade, this might be enough to force Roosterson. He's already taken some hit points. So Team 2 is rather legit, looking very good for pushing against Team 1 if he so chooses to do so. It just goes to whether he does or not. We do see in the southwest section, Upas going for Nano, already has stealth and gun online, has taken some hits probably from the attack from Kaiser. Kaiser holding off 2 players by himself, doing a very good job. He's taken some of the mexes out that RNA has, but hasn't really been able to get further into that territory. We see more engagements here in the middle here between the 3 players on Team 2 and the 2 players on Team 1. Luke, of course, flying his ASF and remaining interceptors kind of just around that position. I don't know where that bomber went. No, it's still back there, so he still has the bomber in the clip just to use when he so chooses. I don't know if he will use it or not, but it would be interesting to see if he does. And again, we see some com action here happening in the southwest and the northeast. I'm going to split it once again. Southwest for the western side of the screen, northeast for the eastern side of the screen. And Raw Legit is forcing back Roosterson. Roosterson receiving a ton of punishment here from Raw Legit. Team 1 might see their first loss of a player at 14 minutes here. We see Raw Legit's shield has collapsed, but, you know, still at a decent amount of hit points. He's lost 8,000 essentially, and is still in the green. That's always nice to be able to say. Roosterson is not being priority due to the fact that the mexes and the infrastructure is being targeted first. Doesn't want, if Raw Legit does kill off Roosterson, he doesn't want the other players on Team 1 getting any access to any of his stuff. We do see some nice Harbingers airdropped here by Roosterson to assist with defensive measures. Now, I don't know if he was having some shield PGen issues, but it looks like he did. The shields on board the Harbingers were not activated. I don't know if there's a delay. I don't think there's a delay when they get transported, so I don't think so. And all of those blazes just going to rip Roosterson a new one. Raw Legit at 2-star veterancy here, going to probably get up to, he's going to get close to a third. That does look like the attack in the southwest does kind of peter out. And Roosterson does go down to those blazes and other supporting units from Team 2's Raw Legit. It is now a 5v6 in favor of the southeastern team of Team 2. Kaiser forced back by Team 1's Upas and RNA. We see a ton of reinforcements outbound from Wackel to assist. And it looks like the northeastern attack, that is the wrong button. That is the right button. Right drone coming online here for Martin in the middle. Looks like Team 2's gained a little bit more of that percentage in the middle, probably about 55 to 45. And Upa is just getting a ton of veterancy here at 1-star and just killing a ton of Team 1 units. There's a couple of Ilshis in the mix as well. But a lot of it was T1, and that was what was eliminated, essentially most of it. We see some Russian here. Roosterson making a comment that is T3 land, most likely. That's what I would assume. ASF's fighting over the top here in the southwest. Looks like Team 1 has either the better engagement, the more numbers, or both. And I think both would definitely be my assessment there, especially with the interceptors being little cannon fodder there. Team 2's ASF need to be built a little bit more. I don't know where the bomber did fly over top. I did see that. That's probably why the ASFs came down here. That was killed off. Let me see where it landed. There it is, right there. There's the bomber. Right there. It's right there. We don't know where it is. It's right there. Anyway. T2 PD being spammed up here by Kaiser to force back this position for RNA and Upas. And it's triads versus triads with T2 shielding. So Team 2 just has the advantage, of course, in the amount of PD that's online. RNA's shield is about to collapse here pretty shortly. That PD is the main target. RNA has taken some hit point loss as well. Just be very careful to not just be shot at for about a couple of seconds and lose most of those hit points. But it does look like Team 2 will gain the ground, or at least gain the advantage in the PD game for now. T3 units being pinged by somebody, most likely Team 2. So Team 2 notices there are bricks online for Upas, and he's bringing them to the front line. Team 2's Raw Legit is just sending everything he has forward. Doesn't even care about the middle, just going to avoid this section. Lots of units kind of getting body blocked here, not only by the engineer that was, I'm assuming, here building. Oh, there it goes. Looks like the wall sections were Control K, but there was a lot of units building up here and kind of having issues going around. So Raw Legit will benefit from that. Wuka actually shifting eastward to assist this defensive line. There is a nice little Harbinger online, but Team 1 has lost the Aeon T3 land headquarters. And if they want T3 land for Aeon, they'll have to rebuild that. And there are some engineers, so Team 1 still has access to Aeon Tech. And of course, the Seraphim play of Lotus is under control of that. He is on the eastern side. And all of these units still being forced back by Legit. He's not giving up, and he's not letting up. He's going to keep shoving it down. Build a couple of facilities to get out some spam engineers to assist with the reclaim game. But besides that, Team 2 has secured the northeastern corner, while Team 1 still has control of the southwestern corner, which I'm still surprised that Kaiser just hasn't sent a couple of tanks or riptides or something to just go boop, boop, and then call it a day kind of thing. Kind of surprised. I don't know why he hasn't done that yet, but maybe he's busy doing something else. In the middle of the map here, we just see kind of firebase wars going on between multiple players on Team 2 and Team 1. Team 2 has 3 fire bases, each with varying degrees of defensive measures. And Team 1 has 1 solid fire base in the middle, and that's very well protected. Nice little PD, TMD, anti-air, you name it, it's probably there. Martin going for some artillery. It would definitely shake things up in the middle of the map, force Tulsi to either retreat or build his own artillery. We do see those bricks actually shifting eastward, trying to avoid all of this defensive measures and units and everything here for both Wackel and Kaiser. Kaiser is trying to send his units after those bricks, but those bricks are just, they fire very, very quickly, very well adept at taking out Team 1 and T2 units. And those mixes are down. Team 2 needs a counter to this, whether that's some Othams, which they have on retainer. And there is a sniper bot online as well, so between those units, it should be enough to deal with everything coming that way. T2 air is online here for Wacko, going for transports. We see T2 land headquarters now being built to T3. Wonder what he's going to do with that. Maybe go for Harbingers or just engineers maybe, and just wants to spam out some T3 engineers and not use as T3. But you could just use your T3 air facilities, so why would you? He has a plan for it. Don't know what it is, but there's a plan for it. And it does look like some units actually break off from the main group. They go south to, essentially draw the attention of all the Othams, while the main battle force continues eastward, going after Klaus's supply lines here. Lots of T2 rhinos falling back to intercept the bricks. The bricks, of course, have better hit points. They, just do a lot more damage. And they're going after the mechs specifically. The rhinos, of course, just like any unit, 1,000 of anything will kill anything. You kill off one of the bricks, but the bricks just ripping those rhinos to shreds. The Optims now rotating back northward, and that attack force will be dealt with. There are more bricks coming in, but I feel like this is kind of a waste because Team 2 now has defenses online, whether that be mobile or stationary. That's mobile in this case. And a lot of those units for Kaiser are actually retreating, going eastward just to assist in any sort of defensive measures that may be needed in that regard. But I do love that play from Kaiser saying, hey, I'm going to send my forces back. A lot of it's AA anyways, just to assist in that regard what I can. But that will either drive the forces back westward, or that'll force them northward, and we have everything covered. Those look like the Othams are going to be hot dropped on top of those bricks. And those Othams coming to the rescue of those T2 units. There are some Ilshis in there, so they're kind of fine for now, but they will be attacked at nauseum. They will be ripped to shreds if they are given the opportunity. Those Othams do land, and the transport firing with what it can. One Otham is killed off, but one brick is killed off, and those Othams will win that engagement. Even if they almost all die, it should be fine. Kaiser even coming to assist and trying to hope for some nice efficiency. Gonna try to overcharge before those before those bricks are killed off. Gets in range, kills off the last brick, and almost gets to 4-star veterancy. 21 minutes on the clock. Let's take a look at the game is going on. Team 1 at almost 1,000 mass income. Team 2 at 1K. So it's essentially dead even between the both teams. Let's look at mass totals. Team 1 at 645. Team 2 at 645. So almost tied essentially. It's kind of, slightly favoring Team 1, but just slightly, and even they're actually tied right now. They still are tied. We do see, again, Team 2 owns a little bit, it's kind of tied because Team 2 owns the northeastern corner, but Team 1 owns the southwestern corner. And look at this, nice little bombing run going after that T2 air facility, but the flak just rips most of those bombers to shreds as they pass on through. One survives. But anyway, Team 1's at 5 players left. Team 2's at 6 players left. And as you can see, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win the game. And of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And of course, thank you so much for watching. I so greatly appreciate it. Doesn't matter if you watch for 1 minute, 10 minutes, an hour, or multiple videos at a time. I appreciate all the time and attention that you give to the videos. I really, really do. So thank you so very much. The T2 shield has been knocked out. The emitter is down. Team D trying to hold off those missiles, but unfortunately Team 1's T3 artillery and T3 mobile missile platforms are just ripping that base to shreds. And Kaiser has, of course, retreated in response to that. It looks like the majority of the fire-basing wars between both teams is between Martin, the UEF, and Toasty, the UEF. Very fitting because both of them are UEF and they're both really good at fire-basing. We see some bombers inbound here from Toasty to try to damage a little bit of the shield. The shielding does fall, and Martin probably should build another shield to defend. We see 2 T2 shields being used for defensive measures, while we see Team 2 using 1 T3 shield. There's now a new shield online here, upgrading to T3 as we speak, but looks like it's been offline for the time being. It looks like the triads are actually focusing down that shield first. We see a bunch of Percys holding the front line here against all the missiles outbound from Martin. Martin with the approach of, if I'm going to use missiles, he's probably going to think about using missiles, so I'm going to build my own Team D. And he has done that. Probably would benefit from some more T2 PD. I mean, I know, Ravagers are really good. I know he's going after the shield emplacements, going after the TMD. He really should be going after this threat right here, which are this squad of Percys. The shield is down, both of them actually. The Ravagers open fire again on all of those TMDs, and a couple of those Percys actually get in the firing arc of said Ravagers, and they're not happy campers. They don't like that, but it has provoked an attack from Martin to push forward. He sees the writing on the wall. He kind of knows that Team 1's position is falling, and it looks like with that he will at least take out the firebase for the time being, but is receiving some fire from the north, and this will trigger Team 1's Lotos to come and engage as well, but he doesn't have T3 units. He only has T1 and T2. A lot of them only T1 as well, so that attack won't do as much. A lot of it is AA as well, so not really a lot of attack power in that regard. And this base has now Crumdo Percys just taking care of the rest of the defenses. Those Ravagers and other units need to rotate northbound. There's a lot of units coming into range of that shield emitter, and Martin needs to keep that thing online, and the longer he does, the better, well, it's just the safer he's going to be. He does have some assistance going down to assist the shield to regen, and he is getting more reinforcements from the supply line, so it looks like he will be fine for now and have a huge amount of territory in the middle of the map under his control, but there are now spearheads launching missiles, and that's another story. We do see a huge piercing attack outbound here from Klaus down the middle, going after T2 and T3 Mexes. I'm assuming that was T2, not T3. Looked like T3, but it was T2. There are some gunships online, some T3 broadswords attacking the AA. Of course, love to see it when gunships attack the only thing that can shoot at them first, because then that's a ton of damage they can negate, and then they can just don't have to worry about any of the other nonsense that does come with that. I heard an explosion. Where is it? It's in the south. Kaiser Wilhelm control Ks, and I don't know if that was technically a control K or not, because it could have just been, oh, my game is over, I'm just going to control K, or it was a, hey, I got blown up by a PD kind of thing. But there were a lot of bricks that came in and charged against Kaiser in the south, and Wacko was also here to defend with his comms, so probably it was a power generator issue, most likely, where it blew up next to him and killed him. I would assume he is only at T2 land, though, so maybe not. The PD's fine. There is no evidence of a more bigger explosion, so I don't know. Maybe you control K to kill all the bricks, maybe? Let me know down in the comments what you think. I think it's either he control K to kill all the bricks that were weak, but that doesn't make sense, or something else anyway. I don't realistically know what happened with that. But I don't know. I just don't know. Team 1 has secured the southwestern corner of the map and is now facing some heat from those Othams. T1 bombers outbound to try to slow that advancement. Actually, they're going to go after the sniper bot. Sniper bot going to die. That's going to feel bad because that's an expensive unit, and it just got killed off very, very easily. Definitely annoying here for Team 2. In the middle of that fire base, still holding on, and Team 1's Lotos with dual base now forcing back Raw Legit in the northeast. His position will crumble. He just doesn't have the defenses or units to counter the amount of attack power from Team 1. And that's just how it's going to be right now here for Team 1 and Team 2 in the northeast corner. But Team 2 does have a nice goal in mind, where they have a nice little experimental down coming into range here for Team 2, who's raw legit, and that is a Colossus. And if Team 1 doesn't notice that, most, if not all, of those units, there are a lot of Othams in there, to be fair. It is a lot of attack power, but that's not going to be enough. Raw legit says, thanks for the carry. I don't know who he's talking to, but he's talking to somebody. Team 2's Martin is just giving it to Team 1. We have also Klaus coming in with his monkey, taking out the monkey here from Upas. Upas will kill off the monkey here from Team 2, but significant damage was done once again. So many missiles, and I repeat that again, so many missiles are online and just pumping out damage here from Team 1's Toasty. And that chicken is online as well in the north, and this position in the middle might just fall here for Martin, but he is going to notice that chicken threat here pretty shortly. He does have Percy's. He is UEF, so I don't think there's enough Percy's to kill off the chicken, but it's definitely going to hurt the chicken, especially if the monkey comes and says hi, which currently it's not, but it might decide to do other things. We'll just have to see as time goes on, of course. I don't see... Well, I see this Colossus in the east, and actually it's going to divert westward, probably assisting the push going down here. That's not really a push anymore. It's more of a tactical retreat. And the rest of those forces here from Team 2's Martin will be chewed up by said chicken. So they are definitely not having a good day today. What else is going on here on the map? Those broadswords finish off those Percys and that nice little army. It's a good mix. We have some flak. We have some T3AA. We have, of course, a Colossus. And that T3AA just gets annihilated by Othams. That probably shouldn't keep those units there. Another Otham gets grabbed. Those vacuum arms are just... They're dangerous. They take out a ton of units very, very quickly. Especially when they got that buff a long while ago, where it actually made that suction arm actually worth it. But monkey in the middle, about to be killed off, but almost at 3-star veterancy. If they were Percy's, they probably would have been killed off, but unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know about that. Maybe they would have been about the same. But Team 2 has a nice hole that Team 1's going to exploit. And in the southwest, Billy Nuke, question mark? Would assume. RNA, yep, RNA has the Billy Nuke. He's almost at 4-star veterancy, but that chicken is coming straight for him. He has a lot of assistance to load another Billy Nuke, but probably should think about moving because his home's about to explode, and he probably needs to get out of the blast radius before that happens. Actually, there's a drop outbound for Othams. I love these plays here from Wacko, dropping in his forces on the front line, cutting down the reinforcement time. The transport does get killed off, unfortunately for it, but it does drop a nice set of units to the front line to be able to reinforce that chicken a lot better. Would love to see some more AA out of his lineup here, but he's doing a great job forcing back RNA. And once he takes out this main base, he'll probably fall southward and take the rest of that position out and take out more of that eco here for Team 1. And speaking of bases being taken out, TMD trying to hold the line, as well as engineers holding out the shield, but those missiles are coming in very, very quickly, and there's a lot of them. And Martin would definitely benefit from some volcanoes. He's building an SMD here. See, I don't know about that because his shield is about to collapse. He's about to lose his position. He's going to build another shield generator. That's going to take a couple seconds to build. Realistically, he either needs to build more TMD, and there's also some gunships inbound. And those gunships don't really like this base. And that base is now going to die. There's not a lot of AA in it. There's a ton of TMD. ASF's coming in. First ASF fight of the game, at least the realistic ASF. Team 1 has more than Team 2, and Team 2's ASFs are distracted by the gunships. And Team 1 will gain a nice engagement here from... Oh, that's just a lot of ASFs that died. Those ASFs trying to take out the gunships, but it doesn't matter. The Rascom has been defeated, and now there's... I'm assuming that was Rascom. And the chicken is coming into range, and that base is dead and gone. Another Colossus here in the northeast. Don't know if it's the same one or a different one. I don't see any wrecks. Looks like they didn't actually have that Colossus versus chicken fight. Colossus is decently wounded, so I'm assuming that's the same Colossus. Martin builds an experimental. What is this? T3 artillery online. It is coming out of Kinder's base. It is emissary fire at 30 minutes on the clock, almost 31 minutes on the clock. The air grid is being targeted by Team 2 on Team 1's Wuka. Wuka did separate out a little bit, so half of it is blown up, but half of it is still fine. They're still flying half a ship, or in this case, they're still producing half of their... Ooh, that's not going to feel good. One more artillery piece lands, or artillery shot lands, and that there goes that T3 land headquarters. T3 air headquarters. Goodbye. Takes out a T3 mechs there, so Team 1's Wuka. But we have in the southeast, Colloquial Klaus gets killed off by Wuka. By those gunships, I would assume are useless air player, says Klaus. I wouldn't say useless. He has artillery online. He doesn't have air anymore, but I wouldn't say useless. Arty is superior than air. Nah, depends. Like with all diapers, it depends. And for those who understand that joke, you do. And for those who don't, well, you'll probably get it. I don't know. I don't know about calling him a stupid guy. He went for the artillery play. Will it pay off? I don't know. Some games it does. Some games it doesn't. He definitely needs more AA if he's going to go with the artillery route just to deal with Team 1's far superior ASF. But to be fair, he is taking out their air grid. So he kind of nullified that advantage anyway. So it kind of evens it out. But in the south, another Billy Nuke lands here from RNA. He's now at 11.4k mass killed. So he does have a decent amount of mass killed off underneath his belt. He's at 5-star veterancy here. And that will definitely be a benefit here as he has, again, 50% more hit points. 50% more hit points is a ton of hit points. So, and he also has T3 engineering suite. And there's also, this match is one of those matches after the fact of the update or the nice little adjustment of the nice little tiny nuke symbol that got really sized down. You can kind of see the three when I zoom. It's kind of hard to see, but when I zoom out, it's a lot easier to see. You can see the 3 dots. The three, not the three dots indicating the nuclear symbol. But the chicken now ravaging the southwestern peninsula, isthmus, whatever you want to call it down here. Nuke is launching. Speaking of which, it's outbound here from Team 1. And it's actually out from RNA. He went for mobile nuke and stationary nuke. And that nuke is going to land, go after the emissary. The emissary does not have SMD protection. Is there another SMD nearby? Is that loaded? Yes, it is. And it's going to be close. And it does shoot it down. So Team 2 keeps their emissary online due to the SMD built by Klaus earlier in the game. Again, if I haven't stated, it is a 4v5 in favor of Team 1. We do see that Megalith on the front lines here for Team 2's Raw Legit. Getting a nice little advancement there. That's a lot of spearheads. That is a lot of spearheads. And those spearheads are in range of that crab, and that crab is getting tons of value out of it right now. It's almost at 18,000 mass killed, almost its first star veterancy. And now is actually going to retask onto the Perseus. Lost the word for it for a second. But unfortunately, he is not moving, which means those missiles are landing around him and on him. And he needs to keep moving because that's going to do a lot of damage to him. And it's just, look at those hit points. Look at the hit points. They're just falling on that crab. He needs to get AA, and he needs to deal with these spearheads very, very quickly. I do love the one brick player, though, just kind of hanging out. So many missiles. There it goes. Kills off the crab. Probably should have just kept moving. Probably would have killed off if not all of those mobile missile launchers. Tactical missile online might go for Billy Nuke as well. Nice emissary fire raining over the top here from that artillery piece. And Billy Nuke, I would assume, in the northeast. There were 2 Colossi not engaging the chickens. I know they want to go to the rear guard air slot, but half of the air grid is down. It's just a lot of free damage that those chickens are getting. I don't know if Raw Legit is busy. He does have another couple of Colossi, but Billy Nuke lands, takes out more hit points. And what is RNA's hit points at now? Not hit points, mass killed. He's at 20,000. They probably want the air player killed, but it's not really going to work.
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, don't even kill off the T3 Mechs. That's got to hurt. Another nuke launches hit from Team 1's RNA. Going to actually fall a little bit short, go after Wackel's position. Wackel does have an SMD. It is not loaded. The SMD in the middle is down. And that's not going to feel good here for Team 2. That's going to knock out Wackel for the time being. No, I don't see any. Yeah, that SMD probably would have been close enough, but a nuke is going to land the first official one of the game. Kaboom! Takes out everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mechs points are down. T3 land is down. T2 air still online, but T3 land is down. And those bricks and that crab is pushing forward against the remaining Authams. There is a couple of Fat Boy on Retainer, as well as a Colossus. That Colossus probably won't even get in range of that crab, I would imagine. Team 2 has their own nuke online, just finished, but is not loaded as of yet. Second emissary is almost done. Looks like the emissary fire now going to retask onto the nuke launcher, I would assume, given its angle. Maybe not. We'll see. Maybe it just had to reposition and then fire once again. But in the southwest, we have Wackel just forcing his way forward. The chicken was killed off, but the Fat Boy died. I don't think that was his. I don't think he would charge it straight in like that, which means the chicken got a kill after its death. The emissary fire is raining around that Stone Anger. RNA getting a nice little Billy Nuke out once again. Did he, adjust for the movement of these units? There are a couple of sniper bots. He might get all of them, actually. That'd be a nice placement if he does, and he does. Look at those 3 of those sniper bots killed off, now at 34,000, almost 35,000 mass killed off. And that one lonely little brick just hanging out, just killing some T3 Mexes. Should probably turn around and actually kill off the one behind you, but that is the thing. It is the mass being hoovered up into Raw Legit's coffers, and he's currently dealing with a crab bearing down on the remains of Wackel's base. Wackel actually gifted everything over to Raw Legit because he doesn't feel like he can contribute as much as he could. And engineers the hover drones on its way to do something. Maybe it's going to reclaim or whatever else. He could just build some Perseus. Perseus would be perfect here, but he's building engineers probably for PD, which he's doing. He's forcing those bricks back. Looks like that brick was eventually dealt with. The second emissary is online. Team 1, how's your nuke going? Well, it's still alive and cooking. He has 4 pigeons surrounding it, which is one of the reasons why it's loading so fast, and is getting more shields. Love to see that. Love, love, love to see that. It's like an artillery piece, but smaller. And, yeah, it's a lot smaller. Don't know what I want to title the video. I feel like this is the thumbnail, but I just don't know what to title it as. I don't know. I'll think of something between now and when the video gets posted, which is it will date the video, but it'll be not tomorrow, which would be Wednesday, but it'll be Thursday, which is when you're seeing it. I'm recording this on Tuesday. I kind of like to record a video ahead once in a while, just in case I just don't want to record a video that day, or I have just work drags me down. Whatever the case may be, I have this video, in the backlog, not backlog, but ahead essentially. Anyway, I do the same thing with other content, especially with the other, Warhammer, Star Wars, Frostpunk, which all great games. I love each and every one of them. They're very, very enjoyable to play, especially Star Wars, Empire at War. Top 5 game, definitely my top favorite Star Wars game of all time. So fun. I was always into that, strategy, RTS. When they had Galactic Conquest in Battlefront, I loved that. That was great. I feel like that kind of like galactic management has always been very fun. Kind of a world kind of management, that kind of thing. But kaboom! That nuke lands, taking out Wackel's actually Kaiser's old base, and Raw Legit will be losing some mass income from that, but is doing perfectly fine. He's at 800, and Team 2 still ahead in the mass income game at 1.7k versus Team 1's 1.6. Team 2 has 2 artillery pieces online, both of which are focused on the nuke from Team 1. That has killed off, to be fair, 142,000 mass. The Billy nuke from RNA has killed off 35, so total 100 and essentially 75 plus thousand mass killed off by those Billy / regular nukes. And there are some pushback here from Team 2's that is Raw Legit's forces. Colossus receiving a ton of firepower from those Fat Boys, but the monkeys coming pretty close in the range of those Fat Boys, and the 3 chickens decide to just skate on by and then go, oh, wait, probably should just retreat. That would probably be a better idea. And all of that artillery fire focused on the Colossus. I feel like it'd be better served to focus it on the the monkeys, which are closer. And emissary fire landing short. Oh no, it's still going there. Nuke launching. This time it's out from Team 2, and it is from Martin's facility he built early on. He's going to go for a satellite now. Going to be able to attack from the skies, at least in more than one way. Nuke is outbound. I didn't see where it was going. If it goes for this position, that'd be huge, killing off a ton of experimentals and land support, but it might just go after the air grid in the northwest. Nuke Eliminator is online. SMD is loaded. The nuke is going to land right on top of those Fat Boys. Maybe even get a chicken, too. Maybe even kill the combo of... Yep, there he goes. Up Toasty kills a Fat Boy. And there it goes. Dual UEF explosion. Nice kill here by Martin in the middle. And it is now a 4v4 tied-up game once again. And I'm assuming that RNA will gain everything that Toasty owned. And then I'm assuming he's going to give it over to Wicca to manage. He may take the middle. I don't know. Bowie Nuke lands here trying to deal with those incoming experimentals. They probably should shift a little bit northward to deal with the Fat Boys, but one of them has been killed off, and there are 3 Fat Boys coming in to pave the way for Team 2's land forces. And ASF over the top, Team 2's outnumber Team 1's due to the fact that Team 1 has lost a significant portion of their air grid. Rebuilding it now, but it definitely shows now that the air forces reside with Team 2. All of this just push outbound here from Team 2, trying desperately to kill off that nuke, which the artillery has pierced some of the shielding, but the nuke itself has been eliminated. Not been eliminated, excuse me. It has taken a shot to the face, but is fine for now. Emissary is just still, I think, are my favorite T3 artillery piece in the game. I feel like if he gets a 3rd one online, that will be it for that position. He's not building a 3rd one, focusing on ASF production. We do have that. I thought I heard a strap bomber land in the northeast. There, strap bomber does land, and that was against Raw Legit from Wuka. Oh, Yippee Air says Raw Legit. He's definitely annoyed about that. It's a 3v4 in favor of Team 1 once again. So when Team 2 gets a kill, Team 1 gets a kill, and everything transferred over to Wackel. I wonder what he's doing down here. It looks like he's being assaulted by some crabs, whether they know that or not. Oh, no, they know it. They see him. So they definitely know. And Wacko going for a gun upgrade. Don't know what he's actually going for, but he's going to die before that finishes, even if he gets out of the water. Those restorers trying desperately to kill that crab off. Unfortunately, the crab dips further underneath the surface. And the column of Wacko will be defeated by torpedoes from Bricks and Cybrin Megaliths. And there he goes. Beautiful explosion underneath the surface. And it is now a 4v2 in favor of Team 1. Team 1 still doesn't have artillery pieces online, at least that I can see at the current moment. Focusing more on land and air rather than long-range artillery. We see an Awasa experimental bomber coming online here pretty shortly here for Lotos. But now Team 2 has, 2 players have full control of the mass. Kinder at 1.6k alone. Team 2 still outproducing mass versus Team 1. But again, the downside with having less players is as the game goes on, your APM starts to tank. And the less players you have, the less APM you have, the less APM that you have, less action, less actions performed, less stuff you do. And if your opponent just outdoes stuff more than you, then eventually, for the most part, you'll eventually lose. That artillery has forced RNA to convert all of these the P-gens, everything over into shields, but that artillery has taken out a ton of shielding. A couple more shots in, that actually might be it for that nuke launcher. And both those emissaries are fully ringed, which means they fire twice as fast. Third one is coming online, so even if those two are not enough to pierce the shielding, the third one will be, most definitely. And that nuke is desperately trying to load. And the shield's just popping on and off. I don't think RNA's... he's not microing them himself. And just look at the shields just go on and off, on and off. Oh, ASF might take a hit. Nope, they're out of range. Okay. Sometimes that happens when you have something fly over top. It just... the AoE spread kills off some units nearby. Restore ball now starting to be here. Starting to appear for Kinder. Wow, I completely botched that sentence. More of them being built, of course, all the time. Definitely a good counter. They provide, some air-to-ground firepower. It's not great by any means, but it's definitely better than nothing. And with 3 Fat Boys, with not a lot of AA, there's some AA, but not a lot, and 1 Colossus about to die, all those Restorers fly in and just receive flak to the face. ASFs are forced to engage. Is Team 2's ASF ready? Yes, they are. And of course, the Restorer is known for their anti-air capabilities, and they will assist with dealing with all those ASF. Team 2 has air control or air dominance. Another nuke launches. Does Team 2 have SMDs? And it's going after this position. This position does not. Crab was just built. Oh, well... okay, hold on. Is that SMD? Oh, I don't think it's going to be close enough. I think it's been edged out. But definitely was close. All those Fat Boys are killed off. 3 Fat Boys for 1.5, almost 2 Colossi. It's definitely worth the trade. But the Crabs are coming into range. Crabs actually turn around while the Colossus turn around. Oh, definitely a missed opportunity here for Team 1. The nuke lands. Kaboom! Takes out 5 more Mechs points. And Team 2's eco is starting to collapse. Fortunately for them, they're still sitting at 1.7, which is what Team 1 is producing. The nuke has actually been abandoned for going after for the time being. And now Team 2's artillery player of Kinder is now going after the air grid. Once again, that artillery is going to land, take out another ASF that was producing. Looks like Wook is producing some of those strat bombers, those ambassadors. I think they're ambassadors, right? Yeah, I think they're ambassadors. Ooh, that's not good. Ooh, those mass fabs are almost dead. Yep, that is an ambassador. And I don't know what else he's going after for the time being. Attack in the southwest, laser over top, used for a defense satellite. Usually we see the, quote, defense satellite used as an offensive satellite, but in this case it is defensive. Team 2 essentially has nothing on the ground to defend against this. Team 1 has 2 more crabs down here. There's 2 crabs, 4 chickens, 3 Fat Boys, and a partridge and a pear tree. I just had to. I don't know why. I felt like doing that. There's 1 crab, excuse me. 1 crab is not going to cut it for Team 2. They have 3 Fat Boys to the north. They need to pull back. They need to pull back, but there are 3 Fat Boys on for Team 1. This might be enough to break Team 2. They really have to spam some stuff out. Another nuke launches. If it doesn't go for this, which it is, the nuke, it might... ooh, if the chickens keep going back and forth like that, it might be enough. Fat Boys try to spread out. Oh, is it going to be close enough? I don't know. I think the nuke will actually miss. Ah, it's definitely going to hurt. Oh, 1 chicken going to retreat back. Oh, is it going to be close enough to kill a chicken? I don't. It does kill off 1 chicken just barely, but didn't kill off as much as Team 2 was hoping for. And those chickens have now been diverted northward in the range of both the crab, and now, of course, the restorers are over top of them and 1 of the Fat Boys. Second chicken is down. Team 2... they have 3 Fat Boys to deal with plus 2 crabs. They need spam. They need everything online to hold this position. Crab does get taken out, but that is a decent amount of distance to walk all the way over there. Team 1, they need a nuke, and they need it now. Team 2 has the 3rd emissary online going for a Scathis. At this point, stop the Scathis. Produce PD. Produce shields. Produce everything you can defensively. Another nuke is launching. It's going to land right here. Probably actually singe that Scathis. Well, no. Oh, that SMD isn't loaded. That one is. Emissary fire being used as point defense actually lands almost on top of that chicken, actually, to be fair. The AA on board those chickens they're not good. But Fat Boy comes into range of a chicken. That's not good. That Colossus needs to go straight south, not at a diagonal angle like that. The third of the 4 chickens are down. And the nuke will land. Oh, kills off a lot. Actually, doesn't kill off a lot of Perseus, just kills off the chicken. Team 2 will breathe a little bit sigh of relief, but again, there's 3 crabs. Sorry, 3 Fat Boys, 2 crabs coming online here pretty shortly. There's a lot of shockers back here, T3 strat bombers. I don't know if they've been building up for a snipe or not, but they need them now. If this position falls, Team 2 is essentially over. In the middle, Team 1 also crashing down on them. 3 crabs, 2 Fat Boys. Hey, there's the 3 crabs. And the shockers doing decent amounts of damage to the megalith. More and more units being called to the front. Scath is still being built. Kinder, you need to build something else. You got a Colossus online. Maybe if you had focused the second one, it might have been done by now. This megalith will be killed off. The second megalith is definitely the better danger, or the bigger danger, just due to the fact it's coming in range of the other air grid. ASF's guarding all of those bombers, but Team 1 still crashing down on the northeastern section. We have a Mavor coming online here for Martin. Probably should have assisted the Scathus, or either vice versa, or something. One or the other should have been built. Not both of them at the same time. Crab focusing on the air grid, of course. It is. Oh, hold on. It's not even firing. That's very weird. It should be taking out everything here, but it's just not firing. That's very, very weird. Emissary fire still hasn't been able to pierce the shields on that nuke. And the crabs come in, take out the Mavor that was being built. Nuke is not loaded. Quantum gateway is down. They're targeting the nuke. It is going to explode. Martin's right next to a couple of P-gens. That's going to hurt. T3 land headquarters is also going to go down. GG, well played, says Martin. I think he might just control K. No, I think he'll stick it out. The satellite has gone down. There's the satellite. There it goes. Falls out of the sky. The crabs have been defeated in the south, but there's 3 crabs to the north. Excuse me, 2 crabs. And there goes Martin. He is killed off by those crabs. It is now a 1v4. It is Kinder versus the world. And that third emissary is going to be killed off. Did he even break the shields for the nuke? No, he did not. Don't even know what he's targeting at this point. But as you can see, the game is essentially over. Kinder defended the south realistically well, but the middle just could not hold. There was too many things to look at, too many things to manage. Fat Boy's in range of the SMD. Once the SMD falls, the shield popped back online at the last second. Stop assisting the shields. Stop assisting the air facility. Take out the SMD. This SMD is not loaded, and I'm assuming that there's a nuke loaded. There is, so Team 1 could launch that nuke. 192,000 mass killed on board that nuke. And even if the nuke doesn't launch, there's even strat bombers outbound from Wuka. There it goes. It's launched. The SMD needs to be assisted. Looks like the Scathus actually took some fire. Oh, maybe it was actually killed. Never mind. Looks like it was actually killed off. But Team 2 had a really good go of it. They got those emissaries online, but Team 1 crushed them in the land. And that was essentially where the game was won. The nuke, definitely a huge player in this game for Team 2's win. Sorry, for Team 1's win. For Team 2's defeat. And that nuke going to land essentially in the center of that air grid. Maybe the crabs will get all the credit. Oh, they'll get some of the credit. Kaboom! Takes out the rest of it and the emissary. And Team 2 is left without anything else to fight with. And there goes Kinder. He sees the writing on the wall and says, nope, I'm out of this. See ya, bye. And Team 1's, RNA and the rest of them will win, at least stated by the in-game notification. And honestly, I feel like Team 1's RNA did a huge job in this game. He held the western side really well. It did fall at some point, but he got it back later in the game, but he still got it back. His nuke killed off a 324,000 mass. To be fair, 190,000 of that was before the last nuke. So Oh, sorry. Kaboom! There we go. Anyway. His comm also took a serious amount of hits as well. He killed 41,000 just by himself. Most of that was his Billy nuke, so not counting the last nuke that killed the emissary and everything else. 230,000 mass between that static nuke launcher and that mobile mini nuke launcher or Billy nuke launcher. I feel like RNA definitely deserves MVP for this game. Really just killed off Team 2's mass. Constantly just gave them shot after shot. I know he killed, I think he killed a player. I think he did. Team 2's Martin did. He killed off, that was Tolsty, I think who he killed off. But no, Team 2's Martin did a good job holding the middle as well for a long time, but just couldn't, couldn't just stay in the kitchen. It just, got too hot for him. Just due to the fact of all those experimentals that were being built. But I think, like I said, RNA deserves MVP. Let me know down in the comments if you felt the same way. Please, if you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. You always got to share it with your pets. And I will see all of you in the next one.